What are some of your I would say like the biggest learnings from implementing AI at Thumbtack so far?
I would say at Thumbtack has always been an AI ML native company. I would strongly urge you to listen to Marco. Marco is our founder. And if you listen to him from the very beginning, he kind of structured Thumbtack. He knew the power of AI and ML from the beginning. So from the beginning, we were an AI slash ML native company to speak. The technology that we use is slightly different these days, but at heart, we are an AI company. That being said, if I were to share three big learnings, I would say executive sponsorship matters enormously to any type of initiative. Having the leadership that pushed us to think holistically about Gen AI, not just for product features, but also from um, transformative business processes was very, very crucial. So that was, when we were kind of talking this back and forth with Marco about this, he pushed us to think about transformation, not just like simple gimmicks. So executive sponsorship from Marco was really, really, really useful in its initial time, and also our chief product officer, chief financial officer, our CMO, everybody were very, very supportive because you are taking a risk, and you want to make sure that people understand the risk, and then you have a reasonable strategy to pivot if some of the things that you try, if they're not successful, what do you do about it? The second thing, after executive, these are not by any order. These are the things that come to my head automatically. The second most important thing, in my opinion, was building early wins. Building early wins builds momentum. We started with straightforward problems that were less sensitive to issues like hallucinations, like I was talking before, which helps us to build confidence in the approach. And also, it helped us build momentum for support for bigger investments around this type of problem domain. And third, grounding expectations is also very, very important. If you go back in time, in 2023, early 2024, people rather underestimated how transformative Gen AI could be. And then a few others also overestimated what could be achieved immediate. And then they were also worried. There are people who are worried too much about the adoptions risk as well. So I would say these are the three things that kind of stand out. Number one is making sure your top leadership or everybody who is responsible for making ultimate decisions are kind of thinking about the same, they're thinking about Gen AI the same way. And executive support is very important. The second thing is, like I said, building early wins leads to a good momentum, and then it leads to successful outcomes later on when the going gets a little bit tough. That is important. And number three is also being grounded about what is possible and what is not possible is also important because the worst case scenario is over promising and under delivering. So you need to be really, really careful about the promise that you make and what is really possible in the real world today. But from a thumbtack perspective, if you kind of look back, um, and then looking back and looking forward, Gen AI is becoming very pervasive across the many parts of Thumbtack. LLMs now feel like a standard part of the toolkit for development across the teams. In fact, all our developers, all our engineers, everybody in Thumbtack has access to almost all LLMs and multimodal models by default. We don't restrict any access. Everybody has access to multiple tools when it comes to Gen AI. But what is exciting is This type of democratization of access has enabled engineering teams, data scientists, applied scientists throughout the company to explore Gen AI for many different purposes. This shift isn't just making our tech stack better, it also helps to transform home care for millions of homeowners across the US, which is what Thumbtack is all about. And I'm very, very proud of it.